Remember when we convinced mom and dad that we were gonna like start a band?
Oh yeah,
And
there
we
was
just-
that Christmas they bought us all instruments,
Yeah, dude.
and
A drum set and
a bass and a guitar.
Yeah, yeah,
We maybe like jammed literally 2 times.
yeah. It was like I think about it, I felt so bad. It's like
I
they
know they're
obviously
poor.
so could not afford those. Like how the fuck?
Please, we're gonna learn music. We promise.
And
Can
they
you
just-
spend thousands of dollars that you don't have?
Yeah, I started off with the drums first. George was playing the bass, and then you were the guitarist,
I was the guitarist.
slash songwriter,
Of course.
and I was just absolute dog shit
You
on the
suck
drums.
dick at
dude.
drums. I got lessons and my fingers were too fat to play guitar.
Yeah.
I would get lessons and I could play obviously Smoke on the Water,
yeah,
the
classic.
first part of the Godfather theme.
Yeah, George was rocking the bass, and then George took over the drums, and he was sick at.
He
at
was
both
really
of those.
good, yeah.
Gentleman X is shaking his head.
Gentleman X, because Gentleman X, and feel free to weigh in because you know us. You know,
You
we're
were
not
there
saying
jamming.
who you
He
are.
was more like our manager, like our band.
He was
manager.
around. We'll just say Gentleman X was in the room when this stuff was happening.
I was outside. I was in the hallway.
He was in the hallway. But all this checks out. So at any time, if you want to weigh in, you're just talking as Gentleman X. You won't be betraying who you are.
Well, he played the drums for years after. He really enjoyed it. Nick gave him up. He really got into it. He did the talent shows at the high school he went to.
Oh. What did he play? Do you remember Gentleman X?
Oh God. Well, remember he was 15, so
Long.
don't
Nope.
judge. But
he
That's
did not
okay.
have long hair.
him and his
George did. Gentleman
George
X.
did.
We
Gentleman
won't
X.
say what kind of hair Gentleman X has. It doesn't matter.
I've been bald for since I was 12.
Gentleman X is a fully bald man.
Yeah, someone sprayed acid on my head in Highlandtown.
What hell? Really? It was in Highlandtown?
Yeah, I threw a rock at a guy's window, thinking I was funny.
And,
he
and you
just-
got your comeuppance.
Yeah, it might have been I don't remember what it was, but he dumped it all over my head.
Damn, dude.
I'm sorry to hear that, Gentleman X.
Gentleman X is the victim of an acid attack.
Yeah. So anyway.
So what was George playing?
So he was a sophomore. There were 2 seniors. One of them was an ROTC,
Okay.
and he didn't have many friends, but he was I liked him.
Okay.
He liked him.
George
I
liked
was there the whole time.
You were there watching.
Gentleman
You
X
could just
also liked him.
feel free to let's just say you're George's representative in this story. So if you want to say I, feel free, and everyone understands you're talking about.
Whatever.
You're talking as George.
So they decided to play Alice in Chains.
Okay.
What was that song where he screams good?
Oh,
Man
fuck
in the
my
Box.
ass. I'm the
Man in the
man
Box.
with no cock.
Exactly.
That's the one.
And there was a freshman singer, and he only did screamo shit.
Oh,
And he had purple hair and fucked up ears because he just pierced. them all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, he had a bunch. He had
And
those
he
gauges.
sung terribly, and we lost. To some other.
That's tough to do screamo because our high school, which we all went to the same high school, was 85% black.
Yeah.
So you couldn't. You could do some white shit. You could do a rock. You could do whatever. But screamo was a little too white.
Yeah, too white.
For majority black
It crossed
school.
the line of whiteness.
Unless
at
you
Poly.
really killed it, and this guy did not. If memory serves.
If I remember this singer, he was also obsessed with Invader Zim.
Yeah, he was. He was. He
He's
loved
one of those
it.
guys.
Would always wear a Hot Topic zip up Invader Zim hoodie.
Oh man, that's a tough guy.
It was rough, yeah. The other thing I was thinking of is when I figured out Santa wasn't real anymore.
What year was that? Do you remember how old you were? Do you remember what happened?
We were I think we were the poorest. Mm-hmm. We hit the poor,
Okay.
and mom couldn't even she couldn't. I grew up and I was like, oh my god, they couldn't even afford wrapping paper.
It was aluminum foil.
It was aluminum foil.
Wait, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, yeah. So this
Wait,
was.
we weren't that poor, were we? Aluminum fucking wrapping paper's she probably just forgot,
Yeah.
dude. Wrapping paper's 99 cents.
I don't know, bro.
We didn't grow up in the Great Depression.
I don't know. I just
we
remember
weren't Eldis's family, for Christ's sake.
Eldis was.
We
poor.
always use wrapping paper, fuckhead.
See, if they use wrapping paper,
Then
we could always
we
afford it.
Eldis snitched on me. That's why I have to wear this disguise.
Oh, what'd he say?
Shit,
He
Eldis.
ratted on me.
Oh, you ratted on who? Gentleman X or
Yes.
George?
No, Gentleman X. I'm not George.
I can't
did
believe
you say?
would.
What did you
I
rat?
can't believe you would snitch on Gentleman X.
I
Eldis.
He's
didn't.
been through enough. He's bald.
He's bald.
Permanently bald.
He got an
Victim
acid
of an acid
attack.
He
attack.
called the fucking police on me.
You did, Eldis?
Yeah.
I've never called the
And ever
cops on
since then,
anyone.
I've had to run away, be
Wow.
a lamb,
I can't believe
and be
that.
fucking hidden in the shadows.
Gentleman X would love to show his. He's of course a dear friend of ours that grew up in our neighborhood and was the victim of an acid attack at age 12. He's a real guy. He's not. He's certainly not one of our family members' alias.
No.
He's just a real guy who's in disguise.
I've never called the cops to snitch on anyone, and I certainly have never called it on someone who is a victim of an acid attack and was permanently scarred from it. That would be extra fucked up.
Have you never
Right.
called the cops?
I called them. I think I've called them when like my car was broken into
Oh
one time.
yeah, that time. I remember that.
Once or maybe it was like twice.
You got your shit. You got your book bag with your fucking
I
ratty
remember that.
underwear.
Yeah.
broken into.
And like my fucking what was it? The old little Samsung fucking phone charger.
Did they
That
do
old
anything?
piece of
Like,
shit.
were they?
Yeah, the cops found his stuff immediately.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you lost the book bag with your
They weren't like,
underwear?
oh, you're some fucking goofy 22-year-old fat white guy who got his shit stolen in Baltimore City.
Officer, help!
Can you guys help me?
My backpack was stolen.
I left my backpack in the back seat on the bridge on Maryland Ave. How did this happen?
Yeah, they broke into my shit to take a GPS. That's how I'm dating myself here. But
That's
having
tough.
a GPS, and it was a shitty GPS too.
Yeah.
When the neighborhood was half base heads. It seems to be better now. Seems to be less crackheads in Greektown.
Yeah.